Hi there, Terry back again. Hope I find you well. And it's time for Batman again, as in Batman Volume 1 from 1969. I've shown a couple of the covers in previous videos, but now I've got the complete 1969. I thought I'd like to show them in order. And the first issue is number 208. As they say, you can't have enough Batman. Let me know in the comments if that's true or not. Anyway, this is Jan-Feb 1969 cover date. And it starts with a initial new story that leads into the older stories introducing the women in Batman's life. Some shorter, some longer. The first issue, or first old story, is Batman 62 from December 1950, and that is The Secret Life of Catwoman. It's written by Bill Finger, the art was by Bob Kane and Lucia Schwartz, and the inking by Charles Paris. Then we have another Catwoman tale, The Crimes of the Catwoman, from December 2203, January 54. And that's Edmund Hamilton writing, Bob Kane doing the pencils, and Charles Paris doing the inks. And then we meet Vicki Vales, and that was from Batman 73, October 52. It's written by David Verne Reed, the pencils by Bob Kane and Lucia Schwartz, and the inks by Charles Paris. And then we have Kathy Kane appearing in The Menace of the Firefly from Batman 126, September 59. And that's written by Bill Finger, art by Sheldon Moldorf, and art by Charles Paris. And then from Batman 165, August 1964, we have the first, and I believe the only appearance, of Patricia Powell, who Batman becomes smitten with. The Dilemma of the Detective's Daughter is the title, and it's written by Ed Herron, the art by Sheldon Moldorf and Joe Geller. But like I said, could have been smitten very much because we never see her again. And unless somebody knows different, they can let me know in the comments. And another one time only is Marcia Monroe, who turns out to be a villainess Queen Bee. This is in Brave and the Bold number 64, March 1966. And the title of that story actually was Batman vs. Eclipso. And it was written by Bob Haney and the art was by Wim Mortimer. And then we have the second appearance of Poison Ivy in the comics, and that's from Batman 183, August 66. And this is actually barely 3 years since it was first published in this book, so they're hardly old stories. But truthfully, all the stories in this issue have not actually been completely reprinted. They are mainly just introductions of women in Batman's life, no matter how short it seems. This short, so to speak, is written by Robert Kanigher, pencils Sheldon Moldorf, and the inks by Joe Geller. And then the last story in this issue is the first of many hundreds in stories titled, The $1 Million Debut of Batgirl, from, of course, Detective Comics 359, January 1967. Written by Gardner Fox, pencils by Carmine Infantino, inks by Sid Green. And that is it. I'm back to the normal size books now. And we have number 209, February 1969. The great tiger cover. I could have used this in my Cat's Head video, couldn't I? And this was Batman 209, February 1969, cover art by Irv Novick. Batman and Robin are in Jungle Jeopardy, and it's written by Frank Robbins, pencils Irv Novick, inks Joe Geller. It's another one of those covers you think it was a Neil Adams one. At least I do anyway. And then we have a Neil Adams one, Batman 210, March 1969. And this is, as I said, Neil Adams with Gaspar Saladino doing the inking. And the story is titled The Case of the Purloined Pearl. And it's written by Frank Robbins, art by Irv Novick and Joe Geller. And that is about all there is to say about that one. It's a great cover. Then we have Batman 211, May 1969. And this is covered by Irv Novick and Gaspar Saladino. And it's in a strange story entitled Batman's Big Blow-Off. Lee said so suspended with that title, I would assume. And then we have number 212, June 69. Cover by Irv Novick and Gaspar Saladino. Batman and Robin, this time in The Baffling Deaths of the Crime Kazar. It's written by Frank Robbins, pencils by Irv Novick, inks by Joe Geller. Next we have another 80-page annual. Again, I'll take it out, it seems a Pringle. Batman 213, August 69, and the cover is by Bill Drought, Vince Coletta and Gaspar Saladino. And this is a 30th anniversary special with either introductions or origins, beginning with the origin of Robin. This story was written by E. Nelson Bridwell, pencils Ross Andrew, inks Mike Esposito. This was an expanded retelling of the story from Robin's first appearance in Detective Comics 38 April 1940, originally told by Bill Finger. Next tale in Here Comes Alfred from Batman 16 May 1943. This was when he was called Alfred Beagle. It was written by Don C. Cameron, pencils Bob Kane, inks Jerry Robinson, and George Rosis, according to this. There we are. Then we have a Robin story from Star Spangled Comics 127, April 1952, and this introduces the Benga brothers. Why they felt this was a classic, I have no idea, being we never see them again. But the story was called The Game of Death, and it was written by David Verne Reed and the art by Jim Mooney. And next we have the origin they all wanted, or waited for, back in Detective Comics, February 1951, and The Man Behind the Red Hood, written by Bill Finger, pencils Lou Sayer Schwartz, with Wim Mortimer and the inks by George Roussos. I'm sure we all know who it was, but I'll let you tell me in the comments. And the last tale gives us the origin of the second Clayface, Matt Hagen, from Detective Comics 298, December 1961. The story is called The Challenge of Clayface. It's written by Bill Finger, art Sheldon Moldorf and Charles Paris. And the trivia on this, the original Clayface was called Basil Carlo, who first appeared in Detective Comics 40, June 1940. And then just a few more issues of 214, August. Cover date, cover by Irv Novick and Gaspar Saladino. The story is Batman's Marriage Trap. And his writer is Frank Robbins, and art is Irv Novick and Joe Geller. And there's no trivia here. And then we have 215, September 1969. Another cover by Irv Novick and Saladino, but looks so much like Neil Adams, I've always thought of it. I've been fooled for years. Anyway, as it says on the cover, the title Call Me Master, written by Frank Robbins. And this issue is the debut of Irv Novick and Dick Giordino on the art for Batman. And then last but one, 216, November 69. And the cover is by Irv Novick, Dick Giordino, Gaspar Saladino. And there's two stories in this issue. The first one introduces Daphne Pennyworth, niece of Alfred, Thaddeus Crane Pennyworth. And this story and issue is the first time we have heard that surname for Alfred. The story, Angel or Devil, and it's written by Frank Robbins, the artists Irv Novick and Dick Giordino. The second story is from Gangbusters 51, April 1956, called You Be the Detective. The artist was Ed Robbins, but the writer unknown. A little more trivia in the letters page. Mark Avania, who first wrote a story for DC in House of Secrets number 92. No, not that story. But in the letters page, he writes a song about Frank Robbins to the tune of Downtown. And then we have the last issue, 217, December date. And it's Neil Adams and Gaspar Saladino doing the cover art. Story is written by Frank Robbins, and this is the last tale for 1969. It's called One Bullet Too Many. Irv Novick and Dick Giordino do the art, and the story continues in Detective Comics 394, which I now have, along with the rest of 1969, which I didn't have beforehand when I last showed this book. Anyway, I'll be doing Detective 1969 soon. That's it for another video. Hope you liked it. Please comment, thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.